Everyone knows Judas, the man who betrayed Jesus, the villain of the greatest story ever told. But what if I told you Judas didn't start as a villain? What if the most shocking part of his story is not how he betrayed Jesus, but how he got there? Stay with me, because by the end of this video, you won't just see Judas differently, you might see yourself differently too. Judas wasn't an outsider. He wasn't a random stranger. He wasn't an obvious enemy. He was chosen. Handpicked by Jesus himself, out of everyone in Israel, Jesus selected 12 men to walk with him. Judas was one of them. He saw miracles with his own eyes. He heard Jesus teach. He traveled with him daily. Imagine that, walking beside Jesus for 3 years. Hearing his voice, seeing the impossible happen, and yet he still became the betrayer. So here's the question. How does someone go from being close to Jesus into betraying him? Here's something most people miss. Judas wasn't just one of the 12. He was trusted. He carried the group's money. He managed the finances. He held responsibility. That means the disciples trusted him. Jesus trusted him. No one looked at Judas and thought, that's the future betrayer. To them, he looked committed, faithful, reliable, which makes his story even more unsettling. Because sometimes, the greatest spiritual falls don't begin with rebellion. They begin quietly, inside the heart. Let me ask you something honestly. Is it possible to be around Jesus and still be far from him inside? Judas heard every teaching, saw every miracle, witnessed every moment. But proximity is not the same as intimacy. You can be around faith without being transformed by it. You can hear truth without letting it change you. You can follow Jesus publicly while drifting privately. That's where Judas's story begins, not with betrayal. With distance no one else could see. The Bible gives us small clues, moments most people overlook. There were times Judas criticized generosity, times he questioned devotion, times his heart leaned toward money. Nothing dramatic at first, just small shifts. Small compromises, small attitudes, small hidden motives. And here's what makes this dangerous. Big falls rarely start big. They start small, quiet, unnoticed. A thought, a compromise, a hidden struggle, until one day, the heart drifts further than expected. Now, this isn't just about Judas. This is about every person who wants to be close to God. Because his story reveals something uncomfortable. You can look faithful on the outside while fighting battles inside. You can appear committed while slowly drifting. You can walk near Jesus and still feel distant in your heart. And if you don't confront that distance, it grows. Quietly, slowly, dangerously. Judas didn't wake up one morning and decide to betray Jesus. It was a process. A slow drift that eventually became a decision. What happened next is one of the most shocking turning points in the entire Bible. Because Judas reached a moment where he had to choose, a moment that revealed what was really inside his heart. And that moment changed everything. But the truth is, many people today are closer to that moment than they realize.